Hey fam, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for bearing with me. I know it has been a while since I posted a video and you've probably, gotten frustrated and you're even wondering if there's anything happening on my channel. Well, I'm here to let you know that yes, there is a lot that's going to be coming your way in the next few weeks. At least let me make a shorter promise this time round. A lot has happened in the month of May. The month of May has been a month of milestones, a month of winning. And I'm actually wearing this medal because this is the point of today's video. But there are also other wins that I'll be sharing with you in separate videos. And I would love for you to ask me questions because, if something great has happened, then it only makes sense to share. If there's anything, whatever worked for me could work for you. So it will make more sense when you see the next video that I'm going to release. But for now, I'm wearing this medal because I finished the half marathon. So if you've been following me, you'll know that I posted a video about how I am going to be running a marathon. I wanted to do this for my 30th birthday and I finally did. And I finished it. So I'm very proud to wear this medal because it took so much to actually get it. And I'm very proud. I did this in the month of May, at the beginning of May, and yes, I have another win from the end of May. So I got very great news literally last week and I do want to share it with you, so look out for my next video. But focusing on my first win of May, which is this half marathon, I want to walk you through how I prepared and how the day was and post-marathon recovery. How has it been since the marathon? So let me know if you have any other questions based on what I cover, because guess what? I'm a marathoner now. So I do have my book here with me and I'll be covering some key points, but I am nowhere an expert. I am just someone who has gone through the journey and I have learned a lot, some regrets, but either way came out a much better individual. So yeah. In terms of the marathon, I took part in the BELL Great Run, Birmingham Great Run. They do half marathons in every city, every major city. So I took part in the Birmingham one because I live in the West Midlands. This was on 4th of May, so this was during the bank holiday weekend. It was on a Sunday. And I took part in it because I wanted to do something great for my 30th birthday. So yes, I'm 30. If you're new here, I'm 30. There's a video, I'll make sure to link it, at least in the description box, where I was talking about turning 30 and some of the things I've learned, things I'm looking forward to. But essentially, 2025 is my year of action. It's the year of achieving things, the year of getting things done. And this is just the mentality that I'm entering my 30s with, and one of them was doing a marathon. So I'll start with how I prepared. I think if I were to rate how I prepared, I probably give myself a 50%. This is because I realized quite quickly during the marathon itself that I should have prepared a lot more. So the type of preparation I was doing, so I signed up for the marathon early in the year, so it was one of my New Year resolutions. That gave me about, because it happened in May, about 5 months, right? 4 or 5 months to prepare. The real preparation, to be honest, started 3 months, 3 months to the day. And it started with me essentially doing short runs in the park near where I live. So my fitness level was 0, probably in the negatives actually. So doing those short runs was literally where I could start from. I can't really do a proper like 5K because there are park runs that take place in the UK. So they're free, and it's essentially a group of runners. You meet at the park, could be once a week, depending on hours you meet on Saturday. And you get to run 5K and they time you, and the idea is that you should get better and better. I essentially signed up for that, but to be honest, I was not at a 5K point at that point. I needed to just run even 400 meters and just get my heart rate up increase my fitness, and that's why I started. So to be honest, I was starting to do that once a week. The first time that I ran just one circular around the park, I was dying, guys. I was dying. Looking back, I should have started last year. Considering where I was fitness wise, I think when you're doing your prep, just be honest with yourself. Think through how long you think it will take for you to reach a point where you can run 21 kilometers. I didn't work backwards. I just started because I had no choice. I had the marathon in 3 months, and the truth is I needed to survive that marathon, half marathon. So it's a 21 kilometer length. So I was running about once a week. Another mistake. I should have started running at least every other day. But what was very clear is that every time I ran again, I was better. So it's all about when you start, because once you do start, you do get better and better and better and better. So if you start earlier, you'll be better on the day. So I started running, I started running once, then I started running twice, then thrice. So I was increasing how the length. I think by the end of it, I was running about 2 miles. Even when I'm in the gym, I would essentially run about 2 miles. 2 miles is good, right? But if you're going to run 13 miles, you need to be doing 13 miles before. So the mistake that I made is I never actually ran the distance of the marathon before the marathon. The day that I ran 21 kilometers for the first time was on the day of the marathon. So you can already fill in for yourself the blanks about how my experience was. Excruciating. So fast forward to the day of the half marathon. Had I ever run even half that distance before? No. Big mistake. But you know what? What I quickly learned, and I was told this, by the way, by a mentor that I have at work. He told me anyone, unless you have an ailment, can actually run a half marathon. The issue is your experience during it, the marathon, and your recovery afterwards. And he was right. I showed up to that marathon with 50% preparation. Honestly, compared to other people, probably 30%. I should have shown up with 100% preparation, because then I would have conquered that thing and been alive while getting home. The experience of the half marathon itself, I'll break it down to you. So my start time was 10:30. So by 9 o'clock, I was on the train heading into town, because of course, if there is a marathon, they block all the roads. So another tip, please do not drive into city center the day there's a marathon. You need to take train. So I took train, and my start time was 10:30. I did not do any warm up that day, honestly. I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to show up and tackle this thing. So when I arrived at the start line, there is so much energy. Everyone is excited, and I love that, and you feed off that energy. So the minute they essentially started us and you cross that start line, the adrenaline keeps you going. So my first 5K, I'd never even run 5K before that day. I actually ran 5K. Like, I was only resting, so there would be a stop. So there would be, every kilometer, there's a sign that says 1 kilometer down, 2 kilometers down, 3 kilometers down. So they had those signs at least for the first 10 kilometers, because there were people who are only doing 10K. So I was very shocked that I reached 5K and I was not dying. That was the first time I was doing such a distance and I was not dying. So I'll just reach the board that says 2 kilometers and rest a little bit, then run again. But I was very in the running mode. So my first 5K actually did really well. I'll put the time actually when editing the video, my time for 5K, and don't judge me, this is for a proper beginner. But compared to the people I was running with, I was at par. Then by the time I was getting to 10K, I could see I'm deteriorating. So past 5K, I was walking a lot more. So especially if it's uphill, I'll walk, then I run again. But I was still energetic. I didn't feel like I was dying. By the time I got to 10K, guys, 10K, I was just seeing the people who were finishing for 10K, and I was so tempted to be like, you know what? I should probably exit with them. But I was like, no, I have signed up for this. I've even gotten my friends and a few family members to come for this. I have to finish. So past 10K, it was downhill, guys. Proper downhill. At that point, I stopped running. I was walking. And I could feel it. I was starting to feel it. Oh, there's especially between 7, so then now they start counting in miles. I think they just so let them not depress us, because when you see it in kilometers, you just think 10 and you know you need to get to 21. It just feels like it's just too much. But in miles, at least, because it's big, a bigger unit, it feels like you have less to do even though it's the same distance. So anyway, between the 7-mile mark and the 9-mile mark, guys, that was the most excruciating part of it. I don't know why. It was so bad, guys. That time we were walking around, I'm trying to think where we were, because we were out of the city center now. We're going the sides of Cannon Hill Park. I don't know if it's the terrain, but at that point I was really lamenting. That's the time my feet were burning. That's the time I was feeling cramping in my legs. By the way, different parts of your body start aching. You start realizing you have muscles in interesting places. But my legs, guys. So my friend who I was actually walking with, she was preferring to run like a very slow jog, because that's how she'd feel less pain. But for me, the minute I tried to run, I was in so much pain. So I was preferring to walk, even if it's a brisk walk. She was preferring to run. So we were just having to coordinate the speeds, where she can even run for a bit, then I try to catch up with her. But from 10-kilometer mark, it was dreadful. Another thing I didn't appreciate were the toilets. So they use these temporary toilets. I just hate temporary toilets, and I don't know what solution there is, because in a marathon you can't carry your own toilet there, and you have to stay hydrated. So that was, and I did not enjoy my experience with that. Water, they will give you water, by the way. They give you water. There's so many water points, and I would actually enjoy going to those water points, because I get to stop and rest. And there are a lot of, what I loved about it was the neighborhoods we were passing by. People were so friendly. People were cheering us on. People were coming out with sweets and, you know, things to just give to us to keep us going. A mistake that I made, I did not carry anything. I did not carry any energizers. There are these gels that with electrolytes that runners carry. Clearly, I was new to this. I did not carry that, because I just thought, oh, I just need water, and I know they're providing water. Big mistake. I highly depended on those sweets, because you need something to boost your glucose. There's a point where your body is just letting you down. Your body is shutting down. And I would, you know, take those sweets that I was being given by, you know, spectators. And those sweets were doing wonders. Just gels, like you need something, you need some glucose. And it reminded me when I was in high school and I'd take part in those swimming competitions and all, they'd give us glucose after every race, because literally at that point your body is asking for it and it needs immediate sugar to keep you going. Why I didn't remember to carry something to boost my glucose? Story for another day. But you need glucose. Water, you don't have to worry about that. There's so many watering points. So anyway, got to 10-mile mark, and at that point I started getting more energy. I think because I knew, okay, we're only 3 miles to go, only 3 miles to go. But guys, the distance from 1-mile mark to the other felt so long. You'll walk, you feel okay. Now we should be definitely at the 12-mile mark, and you just see 11. You're like, what? You mean that whole time I've been walking has just been 1 mile? Like, basically when your muscles are giving in, the distance looks so long, especially that last mile when we were between the 12-mile and the last 13-mile mark. It felt so long, guys. And that's the time they're making you turn, because you're clearly getting back into city center. You can even see the finish point, and you know there's a lot of music going on. You're like, ah, there. Mentally start picturing, okay, if it's just there, I'm getting there. No, they'll make you turn corners, go in between streets, and you're just like, when will this ever end? But fast forward to the finish line. I'll even put a clip of the finish, because we were being clapped for, because we were among the last ones. Fact, I was not the last one. No, there are about like 8 people after me, so I'm proud to say that, because when I was looking around me, I could not see anyone else.